Hello, everyone. This is the Crimson Cure, welcoming you to the Crimson Tower, a place where we keep a feminine foot on the neck of the gynocracy, feminism, and black male misandry. So go ahead, pull up a chair, stay a while, and listen.
Vitality is our ability to have spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical bliss. Some call it paradise. We call it a game. The Black Manosphere magazine is a physical and digital publication made exclusively for black men, black boys, and our supporters. This special edition consists of a core glossary with over 150 words and concepts used in the Black Manosphere. This special edition also takes an in-depth look at the purpose of the Black Manosphere, the most important challenges we face as black men, and solutions to collectively improve these issues with an annual report card to measure our progress. Let's face it, black men are horribly represented in media, and we're changing that. So on behalf of our team and contributors, thank you for your support.
Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I am your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So what are we talking about today? What we're talking about today is you're intimidated by her success, or you're threatened by her or her success. So immediately when men hear this statement or any variation of that statement, the immediate internal reaction is, ooh, or something close to that. And I'd like to let my ladies know, feminine red pill women don't say that because we don't think that. This is a highly gynocratic statement to say to a man. And I think that would be obvious to everyone that that's a gynocratic statement, but a little less obvious is how masculine the statement actually is. Because what she's saying when she says, well, you're just threatened by me, she's saying that, hey, look, I'm masculine enough to give myself the 4 Ps. This is where those talking points come from, where it's like, I don't need you, but I want you. And that should be better than needing you, coming into a relationship just because I need you. I'm coming into the relationship because I want you. And gynocrats think that that softens it, that somehow makes it more feminine, that somehow makes it less abrasive. And it does not. It's actually rather pompous and kind of condescending that you would tell somebody that, I don't need you, but I want you. So you should be cool with that. And it's like, no, people need to be needed. People want to be needed. So telling folks, well, I don't need you, but I want you, doesn't suffice. Just like it doesn't suffice sometimes in this space when women hear it, when men say, well, we don't need you, but we want you. And women are still like up in arms about that. Like, what do you mean you don't need us? You don't need women, but you want women. What is that? So that sentiment doesn't work either way, because you feel some type of way when a man says, I don't need you, but I want you, because you want him to need you. You want him to need you on some level. And if he says, oh, no, I don't need you on any level, I just kind of want you around, though. I mean, that make you feel some type of way, like, wait a minute, you don't really like me. Aha. So when you say it to a man and say, oh, you're just intimidated by me, or you say, I don't need you, but I want you, what you're really saying is, I'm so masculine that I can give myself the 4 Ps. So I don't need the 4 Ps from you, but I want you to give them to me anyway. And it's whack. That's whack. That's wiggity whack. And it's gynocratic, and only something that a hyena would say. A feminine red pill woman would never say that, because we don't actually think that. And we don't enter into relationships competitively with our men. And so what are some of the things that she thinks that a man might be intimidated by, threatened by? Her home, which is her dwelling, her car, which is her mobility, her degree, which is her education, her job or career, which is her profession, the fact that she can maybe take trips and things of that nature. So that's her leisure value. And of course, if she has 6 figures or what have you, then that's her wealth value. So if she has any number or any combination of those to any satisfactory degree, what she's saying is, I was so masculine, I was able to give that to me. So can you do me one-ups on those? Because if not, then I'm dating down. And if I date down, then he's really going to be intimidated. And at that point, I might as well run him over. Right? So the whole entire thought process is off. It's masculine. And it's rooted and based in a backwards BS value system that basically tells a woman and robs her of her very womanhood by robbing her of the ability to acquire and to value and to work on the internal 5. And see, that's really the danger of gynocratic thinking, which is why guys always need to stay away from gynocrats no matter what she looks like, because the mindset is so toxic and so destructive that you're not going to really be able to get away from that mindset without some type of problem. It's always going to be a trouble to you with her thinking the way that she does. Because with that gynocratic thinking, she's always set like a bomb to go off at any time. She's always set to destroy something, which is why, for the ladies listening, whenever you say things like that, even if it was a connection that you were trying to have that had a lot of chemistry, that had a lot going for it, the minute that you start saying masculine things like that, a dude is immediately turned off, because especially if he's masculine, he's already pointing out and seeing the masculine energy that you're coming with. And he also understands that if you come into a relationship with the mindset of you're just intimidated by the things that I have, he automatically knows that you're not going to enter into that relationship under support. You're going to enter into it under the quote unquote partnership, or you're going to enter into it in a combative type of competitive type of way. So because when you get into a relationship, and this is one of the main differences between a hyena and a feminine red pill woman, is because we understand that when we get into marriages and things of that nature, that our things are absorbed into the family stuff. So if I have a little money and things of that nature, maybe I have a home, something like that, and I get married to a man that actually has better than me, and he says, you're going to move in with me. So we're either going to sell that home or we're going to rent that home. If you want to keep the property, we can keep the property. Because a property would be an asset. So we can keep the property, but you're not going to live in it anymore. So we can keep it in your name, but we rent it out. Or you transfer the deed to me, and I'll actually take care of that property for you. All right. We'll rent it out. We'll make some money for us. Even, if you don't want to just give it up completely, but the money that she has, the things she has actually gets absorbed into the family funds, because a red pill feminine woman is not coming into a relationship with the whole what's yours is mine, what's mine is mine concept. She's coming in with it like, okay, he's the leader, he's going to delegate these things, so let me add to what he has as a support, and really just as a show of good faith, that I'm not coming in trying to hoard anything from you or take anything additional from you either. I'm coming in as a full partner. Well, not partner is the wrong word. I'm coming in as a full wife. I'm coming in as a full support. I'm coming in as a full helpmeet with you. Okay. And I understand what a helpmeet actually does. I'm going to take all that I have, even if it's small by comparison of yours or whatever, and I'm going to join it with yours because I'm joining with you. So everything that I have actually joins with you, right? So that's a very non-competitive type of way to think about it. But the gynocrat comes into relationships with that competitive thinking. Men back off of it, not only because it's masculine, but because he understands that if you come into a relationship with that type of thinking, that the foundation of it is not going to be built properly and will break easily. This is where that divorce rate caused by women, initiated by women, actually comes from. Because she's likely entered into this relationship thinking, you know what, I'm going to compete. He's probably threatened by me anyway. And then there are lots of ways for her to think that he's threatened by her somehow. And a lot of it has to do with taking up leadership and system, order, and structure outside of your husband's. For example, you've been working at a certain place for the past 5 years. Within that 5 years, you meet your husband and you marry him. Okay? Your husband has an SOS, a system for you to follow, but so does the job. So the job says, well, in order to start getting emotions really moving, which is what you wanted to do, you're going to have to start dressing a little bit more provocatively. You're going to have to start coming to some of these, meetings or some of these outings with work, with your coworkers and things of that nature. Sometimes we have little outings that's just for work people, just for the employees. So you're going to have to start schmoozing and rubbing elbows a little bit more if you want to get these promotions and things of that nature. So those are the parameters that are set at work. If she comes home and her husband has a completely different idea about how she should be dressing and behaving, he doesn't want her to dress more provocatively, and he certainly doesn't like her hanging out with a bunch of coworkers who, or whatever. He doesn't like these things. So he says to her, no, I don't want you to do that. Now, the gynocrat, the problem with it is that she's probably already submitted to whatever leadership and SOS is at the job, and that supersedes what's going on with her and her husband. So that's when she really gets into her mindset, well, why are you trying to stop me from being successful? You must be threatened by my success. You must be feeling some type of way about the fact that if I do get this promotion, I'm going to be making a good $60,000 more than you. So you must be intimidated by that. This is why you're trying to halt my progress and you're not supporting me. And it's times like those when those divorce rates come up, because I am of the opinion, and this is just my opinion, I am of the opinion that the divorce rates and the friction in the relationships like this, especially when the woman is a hyena, she is being conflicted by whose leadership and whose SOS she's going to follow. Is she going to follow friends, family, or workplace leadership SOS, or is she going to follow her husband's leadership and SOS? And when those things come into, a clash, that divorce comes when she can't reconcile to go ahead and give up whatever things that she had going on in order to achieve eudaimonia, which is fulfillment in her marriage. And she weighs it out and says, you know what? The marriage can go bye-bye, but this system that I've already bought into, I have to finish that. And that really comes from a state of selfishness, right? Because women are naturally selfish and men are naturally selfless, right? And which leads me into another reason why when he hears these statements, you're just threatened by me, or it's offensive, yes, but it also causes him to think a certain way. Because a woman with that type of mindset, he understands that her having those external 5 doesn't do anybody any good except for her, maybe. Because her nature is selfish, she's only going to serve herself with her degree and her profession and her wealth and her leisure and all this type of stuff. She's only going to serve herself. Where the opposite is when a man has these external 5 things, he's going to look out for his family. They're going to benefit. He also knows that a woman that comes into a relationship with that type of mindset, he's not going to be able to benefit any from her successes, because her success is just going to be hers. It's not going to be shared. It's not going to be ours. So if she has successes and promotions at work, that isn't going to help him at all. He's not going to benefit from any of that. Not one piece of it. But now if he were to get promotions and things like that at work, she would thoroughly expect to receive some benefit or some portion of benefit from him actually achieving that. Right? See, these are the things that we have to come to understand in terms of nature. But we also have to understand it culturally. Hyenas think that when they say they come with all of these degrees and all of these other things that really kind of is a more masculine trajectory, they think that they're adding something positive to that man, that by getting them, he's going to add something positive with her. She thinks that he's going to think that if she's successful now on her own, that bringing her on board is going to multiply the success for the both of them. He's wrong. Because gynocrats never think like that. Because she's not coming to join anything with you because that's the only way that you make stuff multiply. She's here and she wants you to give to her, and she hoard and put hers up for a rainy day. So she is adding something, but it's negative. She's adding trouble because her mindset is already troubled. She's going to multiply the chaos in his life by constantly juggling whose leadership and whose SOS she's going to follow, when almost every time she gives in and follows what someone or something outside of her marriage says to do. She's subtracting peace from this relationship. And eventually, that being in that mindset where she's following the SOS of someone else is going to divide that relationship. It's going to dissolve. I know y'all hadn't seen that chart in a minute. I was looking for a reason to bring it out. I know y'all have not seen that chart in a minute. But it's a simple chart, but it's definitely powerful, because when we think about adding things, we automatically think that you can add only positive, but no, you can actually add negative things. But in any case, when she says you're intimidated, this is really a projection. This is really a projection. And the reason that I say that it's a projection is because it's trouble and it's a threat, but it's really a threat to herself. This is really something that she's grappling with, and she's trying to make her man grapple with it instead. Which only makes a man and say, you know what? I can't do that, because I'm not going to be able to build anything solid on the foundation, because the foundation will automatically be broken, because she's coming into the relationship with a broken mentality, with a hyena's mentality. She's already coming in like that. So I'm not going to be able to build anything with her, because she's going to tear it down, because it was not solid in the first place, because she's not solid. Right? So again, the question on the table is, do we understand what she's really saying when she says you're threatened by me, or you're intimidated by me or my success? She's not just talking about the physical things that she's acquired, although she's talking about that too. What she's really saying is, I'm a threat to myself. I done went out here and lived a life that's crap. Now I'm trying to come back to see what man can actually help me fix it. And at the same time, I'm going to be too masculine to take whatever it is he says anyway. So sound off in the comment section for me. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm the Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.